Welcome back. All right, news of the day video for all you fine people for your Friday, June the 16th. We have 2 weeks left in June and then July the 1st. Free agent frenzy and all that, but I expect a bunch of trades between now and then. So starting off for today's news video, the Sharks and Erik Karlsson, and the question being asked of, can they trade the Karlsson contract? So 4 years left on his deal, $11.5 million cap hit. Teams that would be looking to add him would be teams that are probably contending for the playoffs or for a Stanley Cup, and those teams generally don't have cap space. And so it's going to be tricky for that to happen, but that's the plan. The team and the player, Erik Karlsson, agreeing that they should try to work something out. I don't know. I know we're going to see it or not. It's going to have to be some creative management of the cap for a team to be able to make that work. So we shall see. New Jersey Devils news. So yesterday, Jesper Bratt signs an 8-year extension. Apparently, Timo Meier headed in the same direction. The team has filed for arbitration with Meier. The qualifying offer, of course, is $10 million. They'd rather not. So the thought process is this. That's just procedural, taking him to arbitration. It won't happen. And what we're going to see is likely an 8-year extension for Timo Meier. So for the Devils, they're doubling down on the team that they have. And considering the season they just had, I don't really blame them. Meier had trouble with the scoring side of things at points, but he did contribute in other ways. But when you have a player making as much money as he does, the scoring is required. So we'll see how things go. And again, it does take a while for some players to really acclimate and get their game back. So with New Jersey, they're working on a Meier extension. Also, it is reported that they're taking calls on Sharangovich. There's some teams looking at Sharangovich, and with their cap structure being as it is, they might be more interested in moving him than re-signing him. I like Sharangovich a lot. Again, if he ends up on a team that I cheer for, I will be quite happy. I like his work ethic. I think he's got more offensive upside than he sometimes gets credit for, and so there's that. So this was known. Rick Dollywell's been reporting on this for a while, that Ethan Bear was going to need shoulder surgery, and he does. It's seen as 6 months before he's going to return, so that means December. He's a restricted free agent this summer. Everything seems to point to him staying in Vancouver. It gets difficult, though, because the team doesn't have any cap space, but I think that there's interest on both sides to make it work. So we'll see how much give and take there is. It's probably going to, I would think, probably be a 1-year deal. And then they look at an extension after that because they should have some cap space next summer, right? Anyways, we'll see with Vancouver. That's likely not the case. Dating back to Mike Gillis, it just feels like Vancouver never has cap space, which when you look at how mediocre they've been for the last decade, that's kind of damning. But at any rate, we'll see what happens with Ethan Bear. I thought he fit in pretty well with them. I would like to see them keep him, but at what kind of a cost, and how do you make money for that, or how do you make room for that money on your roster? So no one's on waivers today. Today is the opening of the buyout window. So you have to place a player on waivers for the purposes of a buyout. This means that every other team in the league could just scoop the player. Sorry, well, we'll take that contract, which would make a team happy because then they don't have to worry about the buyout penalty, right? So after that 24-hour period passes and the player has cleared waivers, you can then buy the contract out, which, and I will get into this in another video as well. I do like to explain the buyout process, and I can do that with an RFA, UFA explanation too. But the buyout window having opened, nobody on waivers today. I would think that there's general managers working the phones. If they can avoid a buyout, they want to. And if they can avoid a buyout, the owner would be happy. Every owner would be happy not to see buyouts because it's basically they're spending their money to get out of a bad contract that their general manager signed. And whether it's the current general manager or the previous, they still don't want to do it. Vancouver's talked about a lot with buyouts. It's not likely to happen this year either from what's been rumbled locally. At any rate, the window is opened. We'll see who ends up getting waived and bought out, but we have till June 30th, and that's the closing of the first window, and then during the summer there's a second window as well for buyouts. Pierre LeBrun reporting on Brett Pesce. So this is an interesting one. The idea of Brett Pesce playing anywhere but Carolina, to me, feels wrong. It does not feel like something that should even be considered if you're the Carolina Hurricanes. However, if they can't come to an agreement on an extension with him this summer, there is a very real possibility that Brett Pesce ends up being dealt this summer. That, and again, LeBrun reporting Carolina does not want to go into a final year with Pesce on an expiring deal without an extension in place. So either an extension gets signed this summer or he gets moved. I would be very surprised to see Pesce get moved. But if he does become available, I would think 31 teams would be interested. He's an excellent defensive forward. He does give you a little bit of offense as well. A defensive forward, defensive defenseman. Sorry about that. I'm sorry to Brett Pesce that I made him a forward for mere seconds there. I hope he's okay with that. But yeah, Pesce is an excellent defenseman for them. And really, honestly, the idea of splitting up Slavin and Pesce, that just can't happen, right? So we'll see what kind of contract he ends up with. I would think it would be similar in terms of cap hit to Jacob Slavin's because they're very similar defensemen. Slavin a little more upside than Pesce offensively, but again, they're really close, and we'll see what they do. But Carolina needs scoring, so if he does become available, I would think that they might be looking for a forward to replace Pesce with, so we can speculate away. And this is the time of year where the speculation gets ridiculous. I do not get into said speculation. This is as close as I get, which is, all right, this player may be available. What do you think? That's as close as I get. Speaking of which, Noah Hannafin. Noah Hannafin, his deal expires in 2024 as well. And so because there's rumors about whether or not he may want to remain in Calgary, being along the lines of he may not want to sign an extension in Calgary, it would definitely lend itself to the idea that he would be traded this summer as well. But Craig Conroy, and I think my favorite quote about Conroy is he's seen as the Ted Lasso now of general managers, just such a nice, affable guy, that Hannafin's might be talked into it, that maybe Craig Conroy can talk guys into sticking around in Calgary. And it is one reason why the Flames may bounce back quickly. They've got a coach players like, and they've got a GM players like, and will want to play for. So we'll see if Hannafin gets talked into it. If he does, look for an extension this summer, and if he doesn't, probably a trade this summer. But let me know your thoughts. If you're a Flames fan, what would you look for in a Hannafin deal? Everything seems to point to Shellington coming back next year too, so that would help with their defensive depth, and maybe that does open things up for a Hannafin trade. So I wanted to throw this in there at the end of this too, because this is the time of year where there's sales. People talk a lot about, buying stuff and buying NHL stuff, and it's so expensive. Right now, almost every team store has a sale going on, or has had one, or will have one. I know this hat here, I got 30% off at the Abbotsford Canucks store here locally, and there was a bunch of other stuff we picked up too that was 70% off. Yeah, 70% off. So it is that time of year where teams are trying to get rid of stock, and that also includes jersey sites. So Cool Hockey has a deal that, of course I took advantage of it, where it's a buy one, get one free on customized jerseys. So again, like this, that's why I'm wearing this one, because this is one of the customized jerseys I got from them. This is a size 44, so an extra small Canucks. So the logo's a little bit smaller because it's an extra small, but just single extra small. I did say extra twice. I didn't mean extra small. That's the size that my wife wears. But it's an extra small. It is, again, with my name on it. And there are some teams that are kind of sold out of right now, but there are a lot of others too. And so it just means customized jerseys means with a name on the back. Again, I put my name on the back for ones I'm going to wear for meetups. We have a meetup coming next Friday. That's on the Facebook page too. That's in Coquitlam. It's going to be at Hickey Park. But yeah, Father's Day, buy one, get one. It's until June 18th. They don't have sales that long, but there's a limit of one per customer. So you buy one, you pay the full price, and then you get the next one for half price. It's a pretty good deal. So I was like, all right, I kind of have to take advantage of that one, don't I? While somebody was saying in my ear, you already have all those. And yeah, but I don't have them with my name on the back. So anyways, there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And again, this is the time of year where before I had a channel, I'd be out buying all the hockey stuff because it was cheap. And it continues to this day because I know all the sales are on. Good luck and happy hunting on those sales. Even on the NHL site, you'll find all kinds of deals too. On even some of the reverse retro stuff starts going on sale because if it hasn't sold by now, it probably won't. So keep your eyes peeled. and good luck. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.